What's up, everybody? This is Crypto Juggle for another cryptocurrency update. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about an absolute beast of a project that is called Ren. So let's get into it. So basically, Ren is an open protocol providing access to inter-blockchain liquidity for all decentralized applications. So what does that even mean, right? So basically, Ren is offering liquidity across different chains by providing what we call a bridge that allows some cryptocurrencies to be bridged on other blockchains. So let me explain you that in further detail. So for example, if you own some Bitcoin, but you would like to interact with some DeFi applications on the Ethereum network, well, basically, there is no other way than to bridge that Bitcoin asset onto an Ethereum token that is equivalent to your Bitcoin asset, but will be on the Ethereum network as an ERC20 token. So that's where the Ren BTC comes in, which is the peg version of a Bitcoin, but on Ethereum network. And that allows essentially your Bitcoin to be used on many different applications. And Ren is not limited to Bitcoin only, but also for now Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, and a few others. And they are constantly improving and adding more and more assets on their bridge to allow a lot more chains to be connected to the Ethereum or some other chain. Recently, they have added the Binance Smart Chain on their bridge. So you can not only bridge some assets on the Ethereum network, but also on the Binance Smart Chain network. So just to give you an idea of how Ren works, it runs through what we call the Ren virtual machine, or Ren VM, and it's a very easy to use platform. And just to give you an idea of how easy it is, you connect your wallet through the Ren virtual machine. On the top, you select the asset you would like to peg on a different network or to bridge to a different network. So right now, as you can see, there is 4 different cryptocurrencies supported. And on the bottom, you select which blockchain do you want to bridge it to. And like I mentioned, you have Binance Smart Chain and the Ethereum. So then you mint an equivalent token of that first selected one onto the other platform. And if you want to do the opposite direction, you can also do it. So let's say you had a Ren BTC already pegged on the Ethereum network. Well, you could go on release and do the opposite process and bridging the Ethereum token from the Ethereum onto the original asset that you previously had in the past. So just to let you know how important the Ren virtual machine is right now, let's have a look at some data and see how much the total value locked is in the Ren virtual machine. As we can see from this graphic, not more than a year ago, there was only $50 million locked in the protocol, so there was little usage. But recently, with all the new cross-chain features, more and more people are looking to bridge their asset onto different chains. And I really believe that bridging asset to different chain and the cross-chain feature is the way to go for a lot of different projects. And we can clearly see it with the trends nowadays, and also by that chart that right now we have more than $1 billion in asset locked under Ren virtual machine. So that means a lot of people are actually using the Ren virtual machine, and it was at 1.25 billion at some point in a few weeks ago. So lots and lots of usage. That is a pretty big total value locked for a protocol. And if we compare that to some tokenomics data, we can see that the market cap of Ren is not even 1 billion, but there's more than 1 billion total value locked. Now, as you can see from the data I've shown you, that number is not quite accurate because we just saw that there's more than $1 billion. So CoinGecko is actually not fully updated, but it's fairly close. It gives you a good idea. So there's also $173 million in daily volume, which is pretty big volume for sure for any cryptocurrencies to have. It is traded on Binance and many other exchanges. Next, we're going to have a look at the ecosystem of Ren and their partnership. But just a quick mention that they recently announced that two new cryptocurrencies are going to be able to be bridged on the Ren virtual machine directly to Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. And those two are Terra or Luna and Digibyte. So to introduce the partnership, Ren created and introduced what we call the Ren Alliance, which is a huge ecosystem. They're calling it a consortium of DeFi companies that are helping secure, develop, and utilize the Ren virtual machine. So that was the introduction in March 2020. So that was about 1 year ago. As you can see, there's already a lot of names that you might have heard about. But soon after that, a lot of cryptocurrency projects were interested in joining that alliance and being part of that huge ecosystem. So within a couple months after introducing the Ren Alliance, we already saw that more and more projects were joining the alliance. That's about 1 month after, in April. And then in June, another batch of cryptocurrency projects also joined the Ren virtual machine, the Ren Alliance. And then later on in 2020, another 5 projects to be added, and then another 4 project recently. So they are still adding new Ren Alliance members nowadays. Obviously less than when they introduced it, but still a few here and there. And those are usually known projects and projects that will either utilize the virtual machine in some sense or at least help people using it on their own protocol. So just to mention, bridges are not unique. There is a few other projects that have built bridges, but I really believe that the Ren bridge is very unique and is probably the most important one. And also, I have to mention that I'm not a developer, but I know developers that said that it's a very, very, very complicated to create an actual bridge that allows different assets to cross from one blockchain to another. And we can see, if you make some research, you'll see that there's very, very few bridges on the market. And I just want to mention a few of them to compare it to what Ren actually is. One of them is the Phantom Bridge, which is a pretty nice project. But as you can see, that project only allows for Fusion and Phantom asset to be bridged from one blockchain to the other. So it's limited, and it does not offer the same kind of bridge as Ren does. So it's a different one. And they are, as you saw here, in partner with Ren in the Ren Alliance. So they know that they're different and they can cooperate together to build something bigger. Next protocol that has a bridge is Solana. But again, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater of those projects. I actually hold Phantom and Solana. But just to compare it to the Ren virtual machine, the Solana bridge only allows Solana asset to be bridged on Ethereum and vice versa. So they don't interact with Bitcoin or other assets than on their own blockchain. With the Ren virtual machine, you can actually bridge Bitcoin to Ethereum that has nothing to do with the Ren itself, the Ren token itself. Last bridge I want to mention is the Avalanche bridge, which is also a very hot project nowadays. That's been very hyped recently, but again, it's the same principle as Solana. It is a very good project, Avalanche, but it's only a bridge that allows you to cross assets from Avalanche to Ethereum and vice versa. So as you can see, even the biggest bridge and the most renowned projects that use bridge are still, in my opinion, not even close to what Ren has achieved in terms of cross-chain bridges. I also want to mention that Ren has partnered with Alameda, which is a research company that is tied with Solana. So Solana is also joining the Ren Alliance. Well, most likely will join the Ren Alliance through the Alameda research team, which is directly connected to Solana and will be using the Ren virtual machine in their protocol. So again, another example that Solana knows they're different than Ren and they want to cooperate with them, probably because they're just the best out there, to be fair. Now, I just want to mention a few of many applications that are out there using the Ren virtual machine in any kind of way. So the first one is Satoryusu. I'm not even sure, to be honest, how to pronounce it, so don't quote me on that. But they are using Ren BTC and making it private in a cross-chain private payment infrastructure. So they're partnering with Ren and using their protocol to bring some privacy to Ren. Another example is Equilibrium that is partnering with Renprotocol to integrate the Ren virtual machines Bitcoin bridge on Polkadot. So that is a very big partnership that will allow for even more application and cross-chain features. Another example is Plasma Finance that allows Ren to have some additional liquidity mining options. Another example that I love is on the Synthetics platform that you can use. Synthetics platform is a lending and borrowing platform using synthetic assets. And the only two assets that you can use for collateral in order to borrow assets are Ethereum and Ren BTC. So again, they have some kind of exclusive partnership with Synthetics, and that's the only version of Bitcoin that they're using. So again, that's very good for Ren and Synthetics. A nice partnership. Another example is YF-Link using the Ren virtual machine bridges directly integrated into their platform, and you can just simply bridge assets directly on their LinkSwap platform. Another nice application that is using the Ren virtual machine is Mu, or MyEther Wallet, which I'm sure a lot of you already know about. But essentially, they're using the Ren virtual machine to allow you to bridge Bitcoin or other asset directly on Ethereum through their wallet. So again, they're making it very simple for users to bridge their assets in different wallet and applications. So very nice way to use the Ren virtual machine. So that's it for the fundamental analysis. Now I want to jump into some technical analysis and see what we can expect for Ren in the short term or in the longer term. So here is the Ren chart in US dollar. That's the chart pulled from Binance, and that is the weekly time frame. As we can see, the trend is a very nice uptrend that has ran a lot. Now it's cooling down a little bit. We have two major support and resistance drawn here. So the weekly is looking very good, very bullish. We're well above the 21 exponential moving average. Let's have a look at the daily, see what we have here. We're still, to me, in a very bullish territory. But as we can see, the 21 exponential moving average is barely holding. So right now, if I zoom in a little bit, we're currently sitting on a previous resistance that has become a support. So I would expect either a bounce here or maybe some sideways before we bounce, or a breakdown. Now, if we break down, I would expect Ren to reach that lower line, which was a previous resistance that acted as a support once, and I would definitely expect it to act as a support a second time if we break down from here. And that's around 75 cents region, which is, in my opinion, in my view, a very strong support region, which would be probably a very good opportunity to grab some Ren. Also, I just want to pull out some fibs and see where we're at right now in terms of Fibonacci retracement on that previous move. So if we pull out the fib from the last low to the last high, we can see that we have bounced twice from the gold pocket zone, which is the zone between the 0.5 Fibonacci and the 0.618, which is a very, very crucial zone that a lot of traders look at. And if we keep holding that, I would expect to bounce from there and have another run up because we're still very bullish. Now, like I said, if we don't hold that, I would expect to test the 75 region and maybe fall sorry, even lower to the 0.786, which is also fitting with the previous resistance that we formed a nice double top. So I would expect that to hold very strongly if we were to break down those two major regions, which I doubt we will, but anything is possible. And that would be at approximately 58 cents, which would be one in a lifetime opportunity. Just kidding. So let's have a look at the targets if we were to have another run up from Ren from here and actually hold that support and break out upwards. Let's have a look and see what could we expect in terms of target. So pulling the fib from the last high to the last local low, we can see that the 1.618 is sitting right at $2.40. So that would be the first target I would seek to maybe take some profit or sell my position into Ren and maybe buy back lower or something like that. Obviously, it could just break through and go straight up to the next resistance, which is the 2.618 at around $3.30. And there's also another target at $4.20. So again, that 420 region, which is a psychological resistance, and you would have a last target at around $5 for that short-term move. And on the long run, if we go back to the weekly, well, it's very hard to say where can we reach exactly because there's still a lot of room to grow. And I believe this is one of the most important protocol in DeFi sector. So it could definitely reach tens of dollars and maybe even $100 before the end of this bull run. So this has huge potential. It's being used a lot, like we said earlier, and we saw. So I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. It's a big, big player, and as you saw, the Ren Alliance is getting bigger and bigger. So as more and more people gets involved with the Ren Alliance, I don't see any other way than upside to the moon, essentially. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I would be glad to answer any questions. And have a nice day.